Welcome, friends, to episode 50 of the Xbox Friends podcast. Today, we're going to be talking about the player numbers for Oblivion and Expedition 33. We have those now, and we've played it, so we're going to also give you our impressions about the game, or games in this case. With me is Maestro, I'm Verdugo. What's going on, man? What up, son?
What up, son? How you
Now,
doing? How's everything?
yeah, I'm good. I'm good. A little nervous. You're gonna notice it throughout. I'm gonna be stuttering throughout the episode. The reason for that is because, as I mentioned earlier, it is our 50th episode. I can't believe we've made it this far, and we haven't been canceled at all. I haven't gotten an email about anything. No complaints, I guess.
That's right.
So,
That's right. It's the 50th anniversary.
50th episode. Oh, that's the sad one.
Oh, that's a sad one. No, man.
Yeah,
What was Hey,
there you
there
go.
we go. That's a good one. Yeah.
Yeah, 50th episode. And I did
50.
mention earlier, a couple of episodes ago, I did say I wanted to do something special for this episode. And the special thing about it is that we're going to put this episode on YouTube. So if you listen
Oh,
to us,
snap.
if you listen to us now, well, you can now go to YouTube, Xbox Friends Podcast, and now you can see us. I'm going to put this on
That's
there.
right.
Yeah, so
Make sure you take a good look at Verdugo. You know,
I can't wait to see the comments on there.
mm.
Yeah.
The
Um,
millions of people, they're going to be like, wow,
it's YouTube.
Verdugo looks so
I had that
good.
in mind when I started this. I did want to one day get to YouTube, which is what we're gonna do with this one. And I did know, or at least in my mind, I'm thinking, hey, you know what? If you go to YouTube, people are gonna see you. Some might be mean, but I mean, as
That's
long as
about
I'm
to
doing my
be
thing and I'm having
me.
fun with it, I'm good. I'm all right. Say whatever you want to say.
So is it from now on going to be on
Yes,
in YouTube?
yes, yes. From now on, every episode will
Ooh,
be on YouTube. Uh,
YouTube, baby.
it doesn't matter how bad of an episode it is, how bad I look. I don't. I'm not gonna care about that. So it'll all be there. So
Okay,
Maestro, I mean, you
do
said
it.
you were
Yeah,
okay with it.
yeah, okay. Yeah, I got a haircut, so as long as I got a haircut, I'm
Yeah,
okay.
there you go. Now it's not me.
Yeah.
But again, like I said,
Oh, we
I'm
good.
okay. I'm here for the content, right? To talk to you about the video games because that's what I do. Look what I did. Look.
You pause the game to be here.
Yeah,
Ah,
yeah.
snap.
Uh,
Yeah,
oh yeah, I'm sorry. I
you're
gotta think
like,
about the listeners too. Listeners, as he said, I have a T-shirt that says I paused my game to be here. So that's what I
mm,
was showing him. So yeah, so from now on again, YouTube, and it's not gonna go away from Spotify and Apple Podcasts. It's always also gonna be there. So it's now that you have the extra way to listen to us, watch us if you like.
you're just branching out now, right?
Yeah, we're growing.
Like a fungus. Yeah.
Wow. uh, so yeah.
Oh man.
So today we're gonna be talking again, as I said earlier, we're gonna be talking about Oblivion and Expedition 33 players, the player count. Uh, we're gonna first start talking about Oblivion. We're gonna start with the boring one
Yeah.
first.
What? How dare you? How dare
It,
you?
I, so let's start right away. I say boring because I know it's not boring for everybody, but it was boring for me
Yeah.
though. I did start liking the game, especially how it looked. But after I got out of the dungeon, then it started looking like, oh man, I gotta walk all this time. I know you get a horse later on, but I started walking and towards where I needed to go to give whatever I was given to
Yeah.
that person, right? So I got there, but it took me a while to get there, and I'm like, well, I don't know if this game is for me right now. Like it's kind of slow, so I just put it away.
Uh,
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if I'll go back to it because again, it's not my kind of game. It's kind of slow, and I really didn't before. I didn't really like Skyrim or even Fallout. I know it's a different,
Mm,
kind of well, not kind of game. It's kind of the same game, but it's just a different setting. It's not one is
right,
fantasy, the other one's kind of sci-fi, post-apocalyptic kind of game. But I
right.
never got into those kinds, not kinds of games, but let's say Bethesda games. And I'm
Yeah.
gonna count what Avowed in this one too, because Avowed I think I played a few hours, but I also fell off, especially because of
Mm,
the trip. I wasn't able to play it. Maybe if I had stayed here and continued to play it like I was, it would have been
yeah.
different. But yeah, what about you? How many hours do you have in it?
Well, I don't have that many hours, but I did get out into the open world, right? I like left the sewers, and I really like the and I oh, so all right. So I really like the game, and I think that it's I can see how, for example, Elden Ring, right? I'm a huge fan of Elden Ring, and that was actually my first fantasy game that I've ever played like that, right? And I can see how th- not that it's inspired by Bethesda type of game, but I can see that feeling of like exploration that was so great with Elden Ring. I can see how that was like inspired from that potentially, right? I mean, I don't know if they were or they weren't, but that feeling of like, oh my god, I'm out here. Where do I go? And then I personally, I didn't go to do the mission right away. I just like when I got out into the world, I was like, whoa, this is crazy. I saw the snowy mountains. I'm like, let me go over there just to see what's going on there. And like, sure enough, I was like, okay, I'm making my way there. I like kind of met up with some, I don't know, some wolves or something like that. They were attacking me. And then I'm like, okay, I beat those wolves. And then I kept going and like I hit a castle way up in the mountains, and I walked there. I don't have a horse yet or anything.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
just literally, took my time, and it took a while to get there. But then when I got there, it was like a whole other like dungeon. And it just reminded me of that moment when in Elden Ring, when you just like go up the little trail and then you hit the castle, and then you have to make your way through the castle, right?
okay.
I do remember that like in the very beginning of Elden Ring, right?
I'm not really sure which part you're talking about.
Like when you fight the first boss, and then you go into that castle, and then you have to make your
I
way
I
around the
think I
castle.
remember it. Yeah. Oh my god,
Yeah,
that boss. My god.
that boss is crazy because you're so underpowered, right?
Yeah.
But that feeling of like, what's over there? And then if you go there, there's something that like another dungeon or mission or something that happens there, and you're like, holy crap! And it's just that feeling of exploration. You're like, what if I just go there? Like, what if I just ignore the story? And I know the story's good too, but what if I just ignore it and I just kind of go there and there's something there and something could be done there, and then you get like loot or whatever, you get rewards for just exploring that area. And that's like really, really cool to me, right? Because it's that sense of like, I don't know what happens there and I can make it there, and you're exploring and it's surprising, and it's just and it doesn't tell you what you're gonna get into. It's just you just go, and I feel that that is like, I mean, this is 20 years ago, bro. Like that they were doing this 20 years ago.
Hmm.
Like to me, they were so far ahead of, and I can see what the hype is about, and I can see kind of why people felt so strongly about this game back in that time, because I didn't play it at that time, right? I'm playing it 20 years
Yeah.
later or 19 years, whatever it is. But I can totally, if I'm still getting that feeling of awe, like, oh my goodness, this is crazy, and like, where do I go? And if I just go there, there's stuff happening there. If I go the other way, there's stuff happening there.
Yeah.
I can go in the water, I can swim underwater, and I can imagine that in 2007 or 2006, whenever that. I was just like, whoa, that must have been amazing. I wish I had played it at that time, and I feel like I would have, had that same feeling of like of awe and of everything that's happening at that time. So I can totally see why this game became such a huge stepping stone, I guess, for the entire industry to be kind of like this amazing RPG, right? Because before that, it was all JRPG. But I think that once like Elder Scrolls started coming out, then it's like it solidified what the Western RPGs were meant to be, and I think that spawned an entire scene of like Western RPGs and how people looked at it, and it became this massive thing, and I can see now why uh, Elder Scroll is such a pillar in that world, in the Western RPG. I mean, I don't have that many hours in it, but from the little I've played, it's just like, okay, yeah, this is where it's at. I can see it now. It's great. I'm thoroughly enjoying it.
So you think you're gonna continue with it? I mean,
Oh, 100%. Yes,
yeah,
100%.
yeah. I can see
Uh,
it. Like you said, I know. Yes, when you go out and you could just look around and see every place you could go and just lose yourself in the world because you don't really have to
right.
do the story. As I've heard, you can just go and do some side quest if you
Whatever you
want
want.
to, and not even do the story until you're done with all the side quests. Uh,
Hmm.
so, but I just wanted to, continue with the story at least a little bit because I wanted to. I've never played Oblivion before, so I kind of wanted a little bit of the main story to see if I could get hooked with the game or if I would like it. Because usually the
Yeah.
main story is better than the side quests, unless you're playing The Witcher 3. Because The Witcher 3, some of the side quests were way better than the not way better, but some of the side quests were
Yeah.
better than the main missions or some of the main missions. So I kind of wanted to do it that way. And you know me, I'm the single player linear guy. So that's what I wanted to
Right.
do first. If that hooked me, then maybe I would have continued and finished the story. And maybe if I wanted more, then there's a lot of side quests I could do. But it just didn't
Yeah.
it didn't grab me, so I didn't. And I
Yeah.
don't really think I'm gonna go back because now I'm playing
Well, that's
another
the
game,
thing
which
too.
we'll get to later.
Yeah,
But
what
yeah,
we're gonna talk
go ahead.
about. No, but that's the thing about these type of games, right? It's like you said, these are meant to be like you're in that world. You're submerged
Yeah,
in that world, right? And it's just you go in there, you listen to the music, you go around, you talk to people, and you just get different side quests. And it's really an immersive experience for these type of games. And so if you're the type of player like yourself, like you said, who just like linear, like tell me where to go, and like let me just do these combos or these fights or whatever, and get to the story. It's this is not this might not be for you because this is a type of game where you create your own story, right? I mean, think about it. Even from the very beginning, you select your player, you select what kind of visuals you want to have in your player, you select
yeah.
what kind of backgrounds you want in your player. Even through like you select, I forget what it was, like you select the like what year
The
or what
background.
month you were born. Yeah, no,
Yeah,
no, but like later on you select like the star of the year or whatever that you were born in, right? And like even that you're selecting kind of a story behind that. And so there's just a lot of things and a lot of options, and it's not a game that you go in for a little bit, progress. I mean, you might be in that game for like 10 hours and not progress at all,
yeah, yeah.
like through the story. So you get 1% progression, if you're there for that many hours. So I can see why it's definitely not for everybody, but if you're the type of player who just likes to be in that world and likes to be immersed and like figure things out, even the smaller things, like I know that a lot of people hate that encumbered thing where it's like you got too much crap on you.
Yeah. Oh,
Is
as
it
soon as I
encumbered?
hit that, I'm like, oh man,
Yeah.
here we go. I remember I texted you. I'm like, I was liking
Yeah.
the game till this, and I sent you a picture. Oh man, I can't.
Yeah.
That's like I like the freedom. I don't like managing things and having to
Yeah.
worry about how many things I have on because that could just slow me down. And I'm already thinking the game is slow, even though you can run. you can run, right? And you
Right.
can get the
Yeah.
horse later on, which is way faster. But when I got to that part, I'm like, okay, well, I got to worry about this. I mean, if I'm playing on PC, I'm sure there's a mod to
Right.
take that away and stuff like that. But come on, I mean,
I
nothing
I
against the game.
like
Again,
that.
the game is what it is. It hit 4 million
Yeah.
players already in what, in less than a week. 4 million
Right.
players, and
And
it's it's a $50 game, and there's already uh, well, as of today, I'm not sure how many it is, but as of April 22nd, there were 125,783 players concurrent playing at the same time. So those are sales, and that was on the 22nd. The 22nd was uh, a Tuesday, which is the game when the game came out. So I can only
yeah.
imagine after that how many other people bought it and played it on Steam. Which, again, it's gonna go up from there, right? There's no way it's gonna
Right.
go down. So it's only gonna go up from there. And you were gonna say, I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, no, no. Like it's the it's one of those games that were so iconic. And well, one thing I wanted to add was that kind of like what you said, it's a remaster, but it's almost like to me, and I know a lot of people have said this too. It's almost like an understatement that it's remastered. It's almost like a remake. Like they did so
Yeah,
much stuff to that game. And even though they're calling it a remaster, bro, like
yeah,
there's a lot of stuff, and not just visually,
yeah,
but
yeah,
they did a lot of mechanic stuff. They added different things that are kind of like modernize it, quote unquote.
yeah.
But they this is more of a remake than it is a remastered, and the fact that they calling it a remaster and then charging you just $50. I mean, that's a huge kind of backslap to the rest of the industry,
Yeah.
backhand slap to the rest of the industry is like, who are these people making 70, 60, $70 remakes that barely look any different from like the last 4 or 5 years?
Yeah, they just up the
And
rest and that's it. Yeah.
yeah, and maybe if you're lucky, you get like a higher FPS. But even then, it's like okay, you get 60 FPS. You're not really getting a massive like unlocked FPS, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So at this point, it's like they've set the bar so high for what a remaster and remakes need to be that anything else from this point on, I think, is going to be like, oh, you just like did a couple of things, like you I mean, Oblivion did this, and I think they just kind of set the standard when it comes down to what a remaster and what a remake should be, right? Like at this point, if they did all this stuff on a remaster, what would they call a remake?
Well,
Like an entire redesign of the game? Like I don't know.
so I wanna challenge you on that one a little bit. Well, not a little bit because I have proof here. Because Oblivion is not the first remaster in quote that basically looks like a remake. There was another game that
Mm.
came out, and I think it was last year at the end of the year, and it was I'll show you right now. This one right here. Oh no, I wasn't prepared. Nah. Sorry.
I wasn't ready.
No. This one right here. So this one, I don't know if you
Dead.
remember this.
Yeah.
Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster. This one came out last year, and it was
Okay.
they're calling it remaster, but to me that wasn't a remaster. That was more of a
That's also a
remake.
remake.
Yeah. You've never seen it?
No, not the side by side. I mean, I
Okay.
know, of course, I know the game,
You do
but I
remember the
haven't
game,
seen
right?
the.
Okay. All right. So
Yeah, yeah.
let me show you a little bit of that one. But um, what they did there is the same thing they're doing. Oh, they did. I'm sorry, man. I told you that everyone, whoever is watching and listening, that I was gonna be a mess today because. All right, here we go. Let me just pause. So, you know what? Let me look for the. Uh, what is it called? Oh, the verses. There you go. And I'll show you that so you could see that and see the differences. But
Like before and after.
yeah, Dead Rising remaster. Oh, okay, here we go. And as we're watching it here, I'll put it on here so you guys can also see it on YouTube. Let me just. All right. So as you see here, it's it's got the graphical updates. They did some changes to gameplay because in the original one you couldn't move and shoot at the same time, but in the remake or
Mm,
remaster as they call it, you can. And there's other things they also did to it, not just the graphical stuff. So
like ray tracing.
it's the
Yeah,
same as Oblivion, right? The same thing. They didn't just upgrade the graphics; they
yeah.
also did a couple of things in there. So I will, to me, this one did it first. On Oblivion, because
Okay.
Oblivion
Yeah, yeah.
is such a big name and many people know about it.
Right.
That's why it's
It,
why
it
you
propelled
are
it to that
thinking,
level.
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, go ahead, continue.
No, no, no. That makes sense. Like, the fact that and I think that but what I'm trying to say, and I think what it kind of sucks for like all the other games currently that are coming out that are remastered this year or at least in this month, right? So like, what was the name of that PlayStation game that just came out?
Oh, Days Gone.
Um, uh, Days Gone,
Yeah.
yeah. And like everybody's like, "What is this?" And like everybody online is kind of looking at them like, "Look what Oblivion did. What are you guys doing?" And it's not their fault, like they're just doing what they always do, right?
Yeah.
I mean, technically, it's probably like on the direction of PlayStation, which is like do the bare minimum and then send it out and then charge people for it. So, like, at that point, it's everybody's going to start comparing it. I guess the latest one would be, Oblivion, and because it's such, like you said, it's such a big name that it's from now on gonna, or at least for this year, at least, it's gonna be compared to that, right? And it's like Oblivion, like look what they've done. Like they did a massive thing, and they call it remastered. They're not calling it remake, and it's like it set a standard. And I know this, of course, Dead Rising might have set the standard first, and they might have done it first. But when it comes down to the how big the game was, and well, I guess this was a big game when it
Yeah,
first came
for the
out. Dead
360,
Rising,
what it was a big game back then, but not
yeah,
many people know about it because not many people talk about it. And there were many games for this
yeah,
one. I think they did one, two, three, and maybe a spin-off,
right,
and now the remake. So I think there was four, the Rising Four. But yeah,
yeah,
this is
yeah,
not a small game. It's a medium game. I mean, compared to again Oblivion, which is huge, right? So
right. But yeah, either way, like I think that from now on they have to really rethink what a remake is, to be honest, and a remaster is, especially when last year and this year we've had major games that are really setting the standard for what a remaster, and they're cheaper too. Like it's crazy that some of these remasters are still $70 when they come out.
yeah, and Oblivion
It's
50.
Yeah, and it's been like 20 years, and there's so much to it. It's not like a quick like coat of paint.
And even if it
So
was, I mean, it's still a big world. And there's a lot to play here,
right,
because it's got so many side quests, the main story, the world itself, so many characters that you can play as. So you can play as one, and then replay the whole game with a different one, and it'll be
yeah.
different for you because the combat is going to be different. And maybe if you have, I forgot what they call it in the game, but one of the skills that you have is so that you can talk to someone into something. Maybe make them give you a key. I mean, I'm making this up. I have no idea.
Oh yeah, I
Persuasion,
remember. Oh no,
maybe
Persuasion. Yeah,
something.
yeah,
Yeah,
Persuasion. Yeah,
yeah. So it's got a lot of things that make it replayable. Unlike, you know, I mean, Days Gone. I'm not gonna say because I think Days Gone is pretty replayable. Uh,
right,
but you get my idea, right? It's a huge
right,
game
right.
for $50, and what they did to it, it's a bargain.
Yeah, and it's on Game Pass,
Yeah,
right?
way
Just
better
saying.
bargain.
All right. Uh,
Yeah,
yeah, no, it's been a fantastic game so far. I feel like I'm gonna be in that for a while. And I'm bouncing between that and Expedition 33, which is the other game that we're gonna be talking about.
yeah.
But Uh, yeah, it's. I mean, Game Pass is killing it, bro. It's unbelievable.
Yeah,
Especially this month. I mean, it's crazy.
yeah, it's
So
something I'm gonna want to talk about after we talk about Expedition 33. So let's get into
yeah,
that now. Expedition 33, which is the next game we wanted to talk about. Player count,
yeah,
and for this one we have not just player counts, but they also they announced that they passed their milestone, and the milestone was only 500,000 copies to be sold. So they weren't expecting millions of games. I'm
sales.
sorry,
Yep.
yeah, millions of copies sales to make back how much they put into it, which is great because sometimes big publishers they expect millions of copies sold, and if they don't sell that many, oh, we gotta lay off some people or we gotta shut down this developer because we didn't get
Right.
what, like, you sold like 3 4 million. That's not enough when this
Right.
company
Right.
here is only asking for 500,000 and they already passed it. They're past 1 million already, and I'm talking about sales. It's not players like we were talking about in Oblivion. So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, and it's a small team. It's only about 30 people. I like thinking about I like thinking that there are 33 people.
On an expedition to
Yeah,
making
yeah.
this
I
game.
mean, they did go on an expedition trying to make this game
Yeah.
to put it out, and what a game it is, Maestro. Go ahead and tell us
Yeah. No.
how many hours
Yeah.
did you
It's
play
been.
first?
I probably have like 10 hours, 10 to 12 hours in.
Ooh, you're
Uh,
further than me then.
yeah.
Wow.
It's been pretty good. Like on Sunday, I think I played like 4 or 5 hours, and just on one day. So I went into it. It's been really really good, really good.
Yeah.
So like I, you know, w- I was already kind of excited for this game when I saw it in the direct, the Xbox Direct that they had a few months ago. I was like, man, this looks really good, and it reminded me a lot of Persona, right? That's like the style, the camera
Yeah.
movement, and all that stuff. Um, And I was like, okay. And then, they have a lot of items and they have a lot of things that you can attach to your characters. I was like, oh, this is looking pretty good. So I was already kind of excited for the game, and I do like turn-based type games. But this one has like even more layers to it. I don't know. A lot of other games have like parries and blocks and stuff like that during the gameplay. Um,
I don't think any
so
other game has that. A turn-based game
no,
has that, right?
yeah, they
You're
do.
talking about like action games, right?
No, no, no. I'm talking about a turn-based that also have things like blocking and
Oh,
like
I was thinking about that.
counters and
I
things
couldn't
like
come
that.
up with anything. I didn't
The
remember any
Yakuza
game like that.
game, like a dragon, Yakuza like a dragon has that.
Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah, it has like
Huh.
block and it has like counters and things like that.
Okay, yeah, I forgot about
Um,
that.
yeah, so but it's nice, right? Because like you're not just waiting around. You still have to be engaged in the battle, even when you're not attacking.
That's what I
So
like
it's
about it
really good.
the most because I mean I like turn-based games too. I remember playing Grandia 2 on the Dreamcast, and I played it twice because the first time I played it, yeah, I think it was my first turn-based RPG that I was playing, so I didn't really get the concept, or something was
Mm,
wrong with how I was playing it, that by the end I wasn't strong enough, or I I got it wrong. So I just started again from the beginning and I started fighting everything so that I could get up to the level that I needed to
yeah,
finish the game. So but um I played that, and I also played Child of Light, which I've mentioned here before. I told you about it. It's also a
right.
Ubisoft game. Uh, why did I say also? But anyways, it's a Ubisoft game, but it's a great game. I do recommend it a lot. Um,
But
and
you
then when
see, I feel like for you, since you like this kind of, I think you would like Persona as well, because Persona has some of those things as well. That's a
yeah,
long game, I know,
but
but
Persona has that 100 hour tag on it,
right,
so
yeah,
I'm like, yeah, no, I don't know about 100 hours. This one I got into, and I from what I hear, is about 30 hours. So that's not bad at
Right.
all. I mean, you could
Yeah.
do more than that because there's side things you could do. But if you just go through the story, it's about 30 hours. And I like that. But yeah, so I
Yeah.
started playing this too. I'm about maybe 6, 7 hours in, and I'm really enjoying it, especially the combat, which again
Yeah.
is the best thing I like from the game because it keeps me engaged. I can't just okay here this character you do this, okay this other character you do this. I can't just do that.
Right.
I have to either parry, evade, or jump in some in some cases. And if you don't, I
Right.
mean, you don't have to if you don't want to, but if you don't, you're gonna get hit, and then you might not be able to,
Hmm.
beat the monsters or the boss if you're fighting a boss. So it keeps me engaged, which I like.
There was this one boss, dude, that I couldn't. I'm playing it in the um into medium. I forget what
Normal,
the naming
gotcha.
convention. Yeah. And there was one boss that was hard, dude. I had to like really pay attention to the pattern, the attack pattern, because I'd have to jump, I had to block, I had to parry,
Mm.
right? And like it depends on if you're getting hit. You can do like a whole team parry, which takes more damage, right? And so then it took me a while, and I died a couple of times. Like, damn, and I had to go back and like see, how to go about it, and it's what I also really like is that even though it's kind of, well, I don't want to say it's open world. It's really not open world,
No,
but uh, it's there are elements of open worldness, I guess, and I don't know. You got to the point where you can like walk
yeah,
around
yeah, yeah.
like the map, right?
That's
So
kind of open there,
right,
but if once you go into one of the sites in that open world, then it's not open anymore. It's like
right, you're locked in.
more like linear in there. You do uh,
Yeah,
those paces are more like Wukong, where you
right,
yeah,
exactly.
where you do have a path, but you can also go left or right to do like side things, maybe find something that could help you later on and things like that.
Yeah. How many characters do you have right now?
I have three
Did you get
still.
the third character?
I have
Okay, so
three.
you got to the girl.
Yeah.
You know where you find her, that mansion?
Uh huh.
You know you well, I'll let you know, but
There's something else in there.
all those doors are all locked.
Yeah, yeah.
But there are doors throughout the world that you can open it to then keep that door open at all times within the mansion.
Mm.
So there are rooms. So there are things that you unlock on outside of like different one of those like different biomes or like
Yeah, yeah.
levels or whatever you want to call them. There are things that you can go in there, and like if you see a floating door, those doors are usually a door within the mansion. So it takes you, and then you start to unlock different doors within the mansion, the different
Mm.
levels.
I didn't know
And
that.
I was like, oh, that's really dope. I was like, that's interesting. I mean, I don't know what they do, but like I'm
They'll
sure
probably
that
give
the
you
more doors you open up,
something
uh,
to fight with or something like that. Maybe a big
yeah.
weapon. I don't know.
But it's cool because then when I went back to the mansion, it's like, oh, now this room is always open, and I can go back to it. And I don't know what it does, but like, there's a level of progression. It's not just to get better weapons. It's not to do anything, but there's this like thing that it's hanging over there. I'm like, what does it do? And I've been super engaged in that. Like so I started Oblivion. I paused Oblivion just so I can jump into Expedition 33, and I've been like in Expedition 33 the whole time. So I feel like once I'm done
That's
with
me.
this,
That's
then I'm
me.
gonna go back to Oblivion.
That's me. Yeah. Once I saw that Oblivion was kind of boring for me, sorry, but it was. Then I started doing or playing Expedition 33, and it hooked me. I wanted to get to, you know, the expedition itself because you don't really start in the expedition right away. You have this area where you could go
Right.
around and talk to some people and things like that before you can head over to the expedition. So I wanted to get to that to see the real gameplay, right? And once I got into it and started fighting, and seeing this monster, how they behave, how I'm able to evade, which I started doing. I started evading at first, and then I was like, you know what? Let me try and see if I can parry. Because if I parry, I know that there's one of the instances where if the monster is gonna hit all of us and I parry it, then I can, or my team will counter attack. So that's something
Right.
that could help me if I get it down to be able to do all to fight like that. So yeah, so I haven't left the game since I started it. I'm 7 hours in. I'm liking
It's good.
the
The
combat,
story's really
the
good, bro.
story. It's good. Don't I'm not going like like it's not good. It's good, but it's just like sometimes it's a mixed bag because there's something that happens in the game or in the story that's really serious and very sad. But then once you start playing and the characters start talking to each other, it's like nothing happened, and they start laughing and making jokes and things like that. Like
No,
that, I
but
don't
you
know.
you have to understand like the world that they're in. Like this has been happening every year for all of their lives.
Yes, I know.
So
So it's
they
not. So
they're
what?
like
They're
they're
used to it.
used to that.
Oh no, no, no,
Yeah. One bro, 100%. Like, of course, there's a level of like despair, there's a level of sadness, and but there's desensitized to it, right? Like every year, the people that they grew up with, that they loved or whatever, like a good chunk of them they disappear, right? And so that's like over time. Think about it. This has been going on for like 60, 80 years or whatever it is.
well,
This has been
33
going
years
on for
now.
years.
Well,
No, no,
33.
no. You're 33 because it's going down. But it's been that I found a flag from one of an expedition is like 80 somethings. It's been going on for like 50 years or more at this point.
Yeah, from 100. 100 is when it started, and it's going, and then
Okay,
it's
100
going down.
was it.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. So it's going down. So it's been 70 I mean
66 years,
60
7 years.
67 years,
Yeah.
right? Because they're 33. So it's been 67 years of this happening. So most of the people that grew up in this type of world, they're already from day one, they're already used to this type of world. And so, and I think that, well, I mean, in the very beginning, like he doesn't want to continue, like the main character doesn't want to continue to fight, right? And not to give the story away, but there's a point where he's like, oh, I don't want to do this anymore. And so at that point it becomes serious, right? And you're like, oh crap. And it's just a matter of like them just kind of going back to their mission and like thinking about the mission. And I don't know, the story, it's very sad in general. And I think the way it's been developing has been very good because it gives you enough information to get to the next thing, and you're discovering things quickly. Like we're only a few hours in, and we're like, oh, this is happening. And I really like the style. Everything is based on painting or like art, right? So they call whoever they're trying to get to call the paintress, because she's the one that paints the numbers on the moon or whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
And then you go into a world, there's a bunch of paintbrushes, and it's like the like some of these little like trolls, they're little paintbrushes. And even the kids in the very beginning, they're like, oh, I'm dressed as this thing,
Yeah.
but it's like a paintbrush, right? And then the one guy is like, oh, I'm gonna paint you two and like your moment in time loving each other or whatever. So everything is it's very stylized. And the story is everything has to do with art in general, like painting in general. And I thought that was very creative. So I'm really enjoying the story.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it too for what it is. I mean, I don't want to sound negative again, but I am enjoying, the story itself. I do try to get, they're in a mission. They can't just stop and cry. They can't stop and
Right.
get depressed. They're on a mission. They have to keep going forward. So I guess the best way for them to move forward is to make jokes. Try and pick each other up and, hey, let's go.
Yeah.
Come on, we have to do this for. Like Gustav says, what does he say? He says for the ones that will come after or something like that.
before us.
Well,
Yeah, you're
for
right.
the
For the
ones
ones that
after,
could come
yeah,
after us, yeah,
yeah. So it's an awesome game. So far I don't want to say it's game of the year contender for me, but from what I've played and from what I've heard from everyone else, it seems to be one
yeah,
so far.
yeah. I so far I think I'm obviously like you. I'm only a few hours in, but so far it's probably the best game I've played this year so far.
That's
So
because you
I
haven't
would,
played
to
Split
me,
Fiction yet.
I would play what?
Split Fiction.
Oh, Split Fiction.
Yeah.
I mean, this is rated higher than Split Fiction, so I don't
Oh.
know, maybe,
But it's your
right?
personal game of the year, so it could change.
You're right. Yes, you're right. Yeah, and I haven't. I like. There's still other games that I haven't played that are announced, like Doom. Right. I mean, that
Yeah.
might be amazing too. And then maybe I don't know if Perfect Dark is supposed to come out this year or not, but maybe that's supposed to come out later in
No,
the
I
year.
don't think that's gonna come out. If Fable is not coming out this year, I don't think that's coming out.
But I think Perfect Dark was announced before Fable. No,
Yeah, but did they say
am I wrong?
2025 on Perfect Dark? I'm not remembering right now.
Yeah. Nah, I don't know. But anyway, yeah, you're right. Like I haven't played a lot of we still have more than half a year left. So
Oh,
there's still a long time. But so far, this has probably been the best game I played
yeah, it's pretty
this
good.
year.
It's pretty good. It does have a negative though, and I'm gonna say here that it's probably the same for you. But it's that once you're in the big map where you choose to go to the biomes as you call it, right? But once you're in that
Right.
biome, you don't have a compass, you don't have a waypoint, you don't have a mini
Mm,
map or a map, a regular map. So
yeah.
I've gotten lost in this game. I'm not gonna say mm, a lot, but at least once I got lost, and I was maybe 20 minutes trying to figure out where do I have to go, and
Mm,
it killed me when I found out that because there was one of the flags that you can rest on. I got
right.
to one of the flags like two, maybe three times, and I'm thinking, oh no, it's not that way because that's the way I came from, and I keep going back and trying to figure out where it is I gotta go until at the end I got back to that flag, and I'm like, you know what? Let me go back and then come in and see if that will refresh my memory of where I have to go, bro. When I went back, a cutscene happened just like 20 feet away from that flag. And yeah,
Uh,
right then and there, I was like, okay, yeah, this game should have used a something, some kind of guide for me to be able to tell where I've been or where I need to go. That would have been a lot helpful.
yeah. I guess in a way, yes, and in a way, no. Like,
Oh,
so
bro, come on, man.
it remind. Well, did you have that in Wukong?
You exactly, but I had the same complaint in Wokon. The same complaint.
But I feel like that's kind of what makes the exploration a little bit better because it's so linear. Once you're in that world
It's not
or
so
in
linear
that
because I got
biome,
lost.
it yeah, but it's like it's either one way or the other way. Like there isn't like paths within paths within paths, or it's just like this never ending like thing. It's only two ways. Like you either make a left or make a right. And maybe a little bit further in, there's another option to make a left, make a right. But it usually just brings you back to where you need to go. Like I personally so far have not gotten lost to a point where like I don't know where to go.
Mm,
But I can see why it's annoying though, because
yeah.
maybe you miss something, right? Maybe you want to make sure that you grab everything from that place and before you move on, right? So I get it. I understand why it's annoying. To me, it's not that annoying. Um, there are other things that are kind of annoying in the game.
Okay, what's that?
Uh, like, okay, so if you in the navigation in the UI, right? Let's say you want to change the items for your character, right?
Okay. Wait.
You have to go through
I
like,
lost you there. So let's say you have to.
you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you now.
Okay. So let's say you want to change a weapon or one of the what is it called, the picks or whatever they're called, like
Pictos.
the
Uh huh.
pictos, yeah. Then you have to go through, like, you have to hit the start or the right button, right, and then the select whatever the start button, and then go in through the menu, select the character, and then go in through the picto sections, and then go through that, right? So there's like multi-layer buttons,
Yeah.
but then you can't just hit the same start button and then get out of that. I have to hit back all the way to get back to the beginning. Like, there's no easy, even if like in Red Dead Redemption, you can hold the button down and then it takes you all the way back. I don't know
Um,
if you noticed that,
I don't think I've
but
noticed that in Resident Evil.
so in Red Dead Redemption, let's say you're like going in through the menu, through the graphics, and all of a sudden there's like multi layers, and instead, or even the map, right? Like, let's say you go to the map, instead of pressing B and then B and the B and the B again, you just hold it down, and then it takes you all the way to the exit, right? But in here, there's no easy way to get out of that menu. I have to like literally press over and over and over and over again to get back. Now, I haven't tried it with mouse and keyboard. I'm wondering, maybe if I hit escape in the keyboard, it just automatically takes you out
Or maybe
rather than
tab.
having
Usually
me
it's
to,
tab for items and stuff. Because I think
yeah,
escape will
or
take you
tab, whatever,
to the the start
to the
menu.
like exit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Um,
Um,
but either way, like, that's super annoying. Like, there should be a way for navigational wise where I don't have to waste so much time backtracking in the menus. So, but that's one thing that's super annoying to me. But yeah, I mean, otherwise, even it's been pretty simple, to be honest. Like, there isn't a lot so far. Like, I remember, you ever played you probably have never played that
no,
Octopath Traveler.
no.
So
You
in
guys
that
talked me out
game,
of
you
it.
have,
Remember? I think
yeah,
Omega talked me out of it.
yeah. But I love that game. That game is awesome too. But in that game, you have like your weapon, right? That you select your main weapon. You also have like your power ups. Like, just like this game, you have 5 or 6 different power ups. But in there, it's also really nice. You have clothing, and then you have jewelry that you can put in, and it gives you different effects as well. I haven't seen that in this game, where you have like different suits that give you different abilities, or you have like different jewelry that gives you different abilities, like a bracelet or necklace or
Right.
something.
Mm.
Might be later on, but I'm still early on in the game, but I haven't seen it yet,
Yeah, and even with
if it
us
exists.
giving these negatives about the game, it's not a big negative. I mean, I'm still
Hmm.
going through the game. After I got lost that
Right.
one time, I haven't gotten lost again. And there is a tip I want to give you. I don't know if you know about it, and maybe also the listeners to who plan on playing this game, or maybe they're playing this game and getting lost. But there are lamps. If you look up, you'll see some
Mm,
lamps like on the side of the wall of the mountain, no, not mountain, but the wall of
yeah.
where you are. And if there are lamps, you can follow those lamps for the main path. If you want to do something else, if you see the lamps is
Mm.
going right, then you can go left first, do whatever you want to do there, and then come back and follow the lamps again.
Oh, that's interesting. I
Yeah,
didn't know that. That's cool.
yeah. So that I didn't know that starting the game. The game doesn't really
Yeah.
tell you that. So I found out
Yeah. Yeah.
uh, today. I found out. So I'm like, okay, well, that's gonna help me now that I know that there's a way. It's not obvious, but there's a way for me to follow the main path instead of trying to figure it out all on my own.
Yeah. But that is kind of a cool way to address that,
Yeah,
right? Like, instead
yeah,
of having a map, you have these like little things.
yeah.
I wish the game would have told me that in the beginning.
Exactly.
Yeah. But
um,
I can see, like, that's a good way to address it. Now
yeah.
I know.
All right. Anything else about the
But
game?
oh yeah, the other thing, that I don't know, and I didn't see it explained anywhere, is when you select your Pictos, there's like different colors to them. There's like red and green
Yeah.
and silver. I don't know, like, if you put all the greens together, do they give you like something different, or is that just like, I don't know if there's if it, like, Call of Duty, you get like all the same perks. It gives you
Yeah,
like
yeah,
a
I know what you mean.
different thing, right? I don't
Yeah,
know if
I
that's
don't I
something
don't
like
think it
that.
gives you different something extra if you get the same colors. I think it's just to let you know what kind it is, and that's it. I don't think it does anything extra.
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha. Okay, yeah. So I didn't really know what I assume the red is like fire, the green is like earth, and the light is going to be something. I assume, but it doesn't really explain, or I couldn't see if they explain what each of those colors mean for the
I
Pictos.
don't think they did.
But
As far as I know, I don't think so. Yeah.
yeah.
But again,
So, but anyway,
a small team,
either way, it's
30
great.
something, 33 people, let's say, who put the game on Game Pass and they're still selling, right? Because it's sold
Yeah.
on PlayStation and Steam. I don't know if they have it
Yep.
in maybe Epic or anywhere else. But they
I'm sure they're
wanted
everywhere. Yeah.
500,000. They made over a million already, and they're happy with it. And I'm sure that's going to help them to make the next game because I'm sure they're going to
One
want to
hundred
make the
percent.
next game. This game is huge for them. I think this game will be in the Game of the Year conversation for, at the end of the year with Jeff Kelly. What's Game of
Yep.
the Year? What's it called again? Uh,
The Gotti
yeah,
Game of the
the
Year.
Game of the Year awards. Oh my God. We're talking about
Yeah.
the Game of the Year and we can't remember Game of the Year awards. Jeez. All right. So yeah. So good luck to them. Great game. I can't wait to play it. Continue to play it, and I'll probably talk more about it next week.
Yeah. Yeah. Hell yeah.
All right. With that in mind, I do want to give a shout out to Xbox and Game Pass because they've been killing it. They've put
One hundred
quite a
percent, bro.
few big hits. Maybe they knew in some way that these games were gonna be a hit because they don't just go, "Oh, you know what? Yeah, put your game on Game Pass." No, they look at it first and then they choose which one to put on, unless the developers come to them, and they still gotta see what kind of game it is. What are you making?
Right.
What show me the gameplay, and then we'll talk about it and see if we could put it on Game Pass. But lately, they've been getting hit after. Well, not all of them, right? But there's big hits. Start,
Yeah, bro. Big
not all of
hits.
them, not every game, but but I mean big
No,
hits
not. I
as
mean,
in
not every
players
single game.
wise,
You're
right?
right.
Yeah. Uh,
Well, I mean, think about it. Like, so far, they both of the games have the highest rated game. What's it called? The highest rated games. The two of the highest rated games have both been on Game Pass, which is Expedition 33 and Blueprints. And both of those, I think Blueprints is actually the highest rated game so far,
yeah, I'm gonna
and they've
look
both
to see
been.
how much for Blueprint, but right now on Metacritic, Expedition 33 is a 92. So that's the meta score,
Blueprints is
92.
also 92.
Oh, you looked it up. Okay. Now the user score
Yeah,
for Expedition 33 is 97. That is not bad at all.
dude, people loving it.
Yeah, and it's
One
funny
hundred percent.
you did mention Blueprints. Yeah, because Blueprints, even though we are not talking about it, it is a big game too. Many people have liked it. This
Yeah,
game is doing something that's never been done before with roguelike and um, it's it's not escape room wise, but you do go into different rooms. You played it, right? I didn't really.
right. Yeah, I
Yeah, yeah.
played
So,
it. I'm actually in progress as well for this game.
mm,
Yeah, and it is very different from all other puzzle games
mhm.
that have come out, and so they're doing something way different, and it's actually really really good too. It's hard. It's a really good game.
Yeah.
So I highly recommend it. And not to mention that, but then you have like I know maybe it didn't get super huge score, but South of Midnight was really good too, and it was an
Okay.
awesome game.
So I didn't specify at the beginning, but I wanted to mainly talk about third party games because I know, the main games are going to be there, but I wanted to mention big hits for Game Pass that being from third parties, not in house. So yeah, about South of Midnight, Doom coming up. Those are great games and all. But from third party, Blueprints, as you said, this game that just came out, Expedition 33, we have Power World from last year, which was
And
huge. And I don't think
yeah,
Microsoft
and
or even the developers knew how huge that game was going to be.
but also Atomfall, which has gotten really good reviews too. That just came
True.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like there's been like back to back, at least once a week, you have like a good game that has been beloved by everybody. In addition to all your, your indies and smaller type
Yeah.
games,
Yeah.
and but dude, it's been like hit after hit. I mean, it's hard for me to keep up
Yeah. So
with all of these games.
Game Pass is killing it, man. That they're
The-
getting them. I mean, we are getting our money's
We're
worth
getting
and
money's
more
worth,
and more. Because if you've played,
100%.
it's $20 for Game Pass Ultimate. So in a year, it's about $240. If you play, let's say, 4 games, right? Four $60 games. If you play
Yep,
4 games in game from Game Pass, you're already getting that money back for the whole year. And I'm sure you're gonna play
yep,
more games from Game Pass. It's not like you're just gonna play 4 games a year. I mean, depending
right.
on how much time you have and how much of a gamer you are. But I've already played about. Sure, I didn't finish most of the
Finish
games,
it, right,
but that's also the beauty of Game Pass. I'm able to try a game, and if I don't like it, move on to the next game. If I don't like it, move on
right.
to the next one. If I like it, finish it. And by the time I finish it, there will be another game that's going to be added to Game
Yep.
Pass, and it's just going to be waiting for me there. So when we talked about Oblivion being shadow dropped ahead of Expedition 33, I did mention, oh man, that sucks because Oblivion is such a big game, a big name that many people know, and many players who've played it originally are gonna want to go back to this remaster, and those who didn't play the original are gonna want to know what the fuss is about and want to play this one, and then no one or not
Yeah,
many people are gonna play Expedition 33, but it didn't seem to bother Expedition 33 at all.
no, and that's what I'm saying. Like, you can have multiple massive games, at least in reviews and just in general, like in the industry and
Yeah.
everybody talking about them, right? And they can both be successful, and they are both being super successful at the moment, right? And I remember, I think I mentioned this to you. I don't remember if I did or not, but one is a first person RPG.
Yeah.
The other one is turn based. Those are two different type of gamers, and of course, there's going to be overlaps like you and I who play everything that comes our way. But at the end of the day, you're gonna have your group of people who's like, I'm not really vibing with Oblivion,
Me?
right? Like you,
I'm
right?
proof. I'm
And
proof.
and then you're gonna have the other people like yourself again, like, oh, I'm really vibing with
Yeah.
Expedition 33, and then you're gonna keep going on that. But then you have people like me who are like, I'm really vibing with this one, I'm really vibing with that one, and it's an awesome. I guess it's a good problem to have of like, how do
Yeah.
I balance playing these two games, rather than like, crap, I have nothing to play, right? And so now I'm gonna like keep going back and forth. And it's like, okay, this is awesome, and I have that expectation. It's like I'm gonna really like dive into Expedition 33. Once I'm done, I already have something lined up, and it's like I
Yeah.
can go into that world again, and it's like it's a great feeling to have that I can explore world after world after world, continuously. And it's like, oh man, this is great.
It's
I
awesome, man.
wish I I wish I had this when I was a kid. Like, oh man, if I had Game Pass when I was a kid, it would have been amazing.
Yeah, this is
Yeah,
Blockbuster, but no running out of games
yeah,
because you could go to Blockbuster. Oh
right.
man, I want to rent this game. Let's go to Blockbuster. Oh no, it's rented out. You can't get it. So this one, you
Or
can.
sometimes,
They're all there for you. Yeah.
bro, sometimes I would have Blockbuster rent like a PlayStation game, and then by the time I got home, it was too scratch. And I have to
Oh
go
yeah.
back to, yeah, it's, oh my god, it's so
Yeah.
annoying.
Yeah. These kids nowadays don't know how good they have it, man. No,
Yeah,
no, no,
they
no.
know the struggle.
Yeah, they don't know the struggle. Yeah.
It was so
So
annoying.
with that, I do have a question for you. And my question is, which game that's coming out later this year is gonna be the next big thing that you think from? And I don't know if you know which games are coming out for Game Pass, and I'm talking about third parties, not first party.
Third party.
Yeah, which do you think could be the next big thing for me? I I know I'm putting you on the spot, but let me tell you because I did some research. I did
Yeah.
look for a list of the games that are
Okay.
coming
Yeah.
out, and this jumped out at me, and it's the Altars. I don't know if you remember that one,
Oh yeah,
right?
I do remember
Okay,
that actually.
yeah. So the
That looked
Altars,
really interesting
yeah, I played the demo. It wasn't for me, but I see what they're doing. Not sure if
because it's
it's
like
gonna.
it's like a clone, right,
Yeah, yeah. You
of
make a clone
yourself,
of
and then you
of
just keep going back.
yourself, but you make it so it's missing one part of your life, and so that clone is different than you. It's got a different personality, right? And it could
Yeah,
be a mechanic, it could be a nurse, it could be a pilot, it could be, something that you need. So if you need someone to go and grab some resources, you can clone yourself to get that one person to get the
oh, that's cool.
resources. But it's also it's not gonna be the same as you. You'll be you. The clones will be different each time you clone
Right.
yourself. So because of that, there's something different about it that I was like, okay, well, this could be a big hit. I'm not sure right now when it's coming out, but yeah, Alters Rematch.
Yeah.
Rematch is the soccer game from Sifu, from the Sifu player
Yeah, I
developers.
can see that being fun, but I
Yeah,
don't know if it's gonna be like a
it could
massive
be big.
hit.
Hey, look at what happened with Rocket League. Rocket League was
That's
big.
true.
It became big.
That's
This
true.
one could too,
Yeah.
because this one, it's like Rocket League, but it's with people. And in Rocket
Right.
League, you could do those trick shots and things like that. So this could be fun and it could be big. I'm not sure, but it's one that jumped out at me. And then the other one, which just got a release date announced. Let me see what's the release date for that one. It's in July 24th, and that's Wu Chang Falling Feathers.
Hmm.
Do you know which one that is?
Yeah, I remember the trailer. It's kind of like Wukong, but
Yeah.
yeah,
It is kind of like Wukong. And that's
yeah,
also why it jumped out at me thinking, okay, well, this is kind of like Wukong. It could be the same thing as Wukong. It could be where it's really good. And I'm
yeah,
showing it right now for the listeners. But yeah, anyone that you maybe remember that I didn't get?
yeah. I don't, I don't. Not that I remember, but out of the ones that you mentioned, I don't know if any of those are gonna be like, whoa, this is the next big thing. It's kind of hard to gauge that, right? Because who would have said like,
Who would have
"Yo,
thought? Yeah,
Expedition 33 is gonna be like
yeah.
it,"
Power World. Who
when
would
you
have
were
thought? Who would have thought?
Power World, right? Exactly. So it's really difficult to gauge that. So I don't know what's gonna be. I think the next big thing is gonna be from first party, which is going to be, of course, Doom. I don't
Doom.
know if
Yeah.
it's gonna be like a massive like third party, like, oh my god, this is incredible. Because a lot of these games look like other games, except for the Ultras one. It looks like that one looks to be the most original,
Right. Yeah.
out of all the ones that you mentioned. But again, like, just because it's original doesn't mean that it's a fun game or it has a good story, right? It could just be original and be isolated to just original and doesn't make it a good game anyway. So it's really hard to gauge that at this point in time. I think, and I don't know. I don't know what's gonna be like a massive game like that. And to be honest, I don't even know if Doom is gonna be like to that level. I mean, it's gonna be
Yeah.
Doom,
I mean, it's gonna
right?
be it's
So
gonna be big, but we're talking about huge,
to
huge.
take,
It's
yeah, to
coming
take
out
the world
everywhere
by
too, so that
storm,
helps it.
right? So yeah, it's hard to gauge. I have no idea how or what would be the next massive thing. It's so to be such a hit. like Pal World and like Expedition 33, and even to a degree of Oblivion, right? Like it's been a huge hit considering that it's a 20-year-old game. Uh, so it's just hard to gauge. They just have to do a good job, and that's the beauty of Game Pass, that you get to try it. You don't have to hear or listen or read any reviews. You just go ahead and make your own reviews. Like, man, I love this, or man, this isn't for me. Let me move on to something that I
Yeah.
would love. Because I can tell you for a fact that Expedition 33 was interesting, but I don't know if it was interesting enough for me to go out of my way to buy it.
Yeah, I mean,
You know what I mean?
but
Like if it wasn't in Game Pass, and I would have read a lot about it. Like, okay, this looks like a good game. Maybe I'll get it later down the road. I don't know if I would have jumped on it right away.
that's the thing. Like, you put out a game now, and it's hard for a lot of people to just go. Yeah, I mean, it's gotten very good reviews. People are talking about it. You can even see the videos and see if you like it. But playing it yourself is different than all of that.
Yeah,
So you don't want to spend fifty
100%.
dollars to just give it a try. Game Pass,
Yep.
yeah, sure, give it a try. I mean, you're already paying for Game Pass, so yeah, it's already there. Just give it a try and see if you like it. You're not losing money. You're losing maybe an hour or two if you didn't like it. But I'm
And
glad
then
they
when you
made the
love it,
money.
like when you play it, and then you're like, oh my god, I love this game. This is so great. It's such a huge surprise, and it's like,
Mhm.
wow, this is awesome. Like the return is so much bigger at
Yeah,
that point. So
yeah. It was like that to me. It was a big surprise when I started playing and I started liking it. Like, I was like, oh man, this is really good. Like, the story
yeah,
is really good. That right there, right before you go, not right before you go on the expedition, but right before you go and get ready for the expedition, that moment
yep,
there was really sad.
yeah,
And this is what I'm talking about. Like, that moment right there was really sad. And then the next scene is a guy and a girl who are gonna drink, and then the main guy comes and they're like, "Oh, come have a drink with us." And like, that's what I'm talking about. Like, it just takes me out of it when they do something like that. In the moment though, it's really good.
but that's what I'm saying. Like these characters have been in that world for so
I
long
get it,
that
yeah, but
yes, and hold on, and everybody knew that this was coming. They already know what everybody's age is. They already know, like, oh, these are the next set of people. They already kind of mentally prepare for that in a way.
I just don't get it. Like, I myself couldn't be like that, like normal. Like, yeah, sure, yeah, okay, bye bye. Yeah, okay, let's go party. Or I can't be like that. Like me. And I'm also thinking, everybody there, that just happened. Nobody went crazy. You don't see, if it was a real world, if you knew you were gonna die, you wouldn't be just standing there waiting for it. You'd be doing anything else other than standing there.
Nah,
But the,
because you're looking at it through your eyes and
exactly.
like how your world is
I
now.
know, I
But
know.
yeah, that's not. Think about it like this, for example. Like, let's say your entire life, like your entire life, you grew up around dogs, right? And you had like tons and tons of dogs. Like, they're only gonna live like 15 years or so, somewhere around there, right? And yes, when they die, you get sad, but it's like
Yeah,
this is their nature, right? And like you have these other bunch of dogs around you that they also need love and whatever. So it's like, of course it's sad, but your life doesn't stop because your dog died, right?
I know.
Like,
I get
y-
what it is. Every year they see people die in front of them,
right,
right? And so yeah, you get used to it if it happens to you year after year after year after year. And these guys, they're 33, the oldest ones, and so they've seen this. I'm not gonna say 33 years because when they're babies, they don't really notice any of that. But
right,
maybe after
yeah,
6, 7, or something, they start seeing that and feeling the loss of those people. And so, like, I get it, man. I get exactly what it is, what that world is. It's just, for me, since I'm not that way, it's not like
Yeah,
right, we don't lose someone every year. Hopefully that doesn't happen to anyone because it's really
sure.
bad. But every year you're fine. It's like once in a while where you lose someone that you really really love, and I don't know. I still like it. Again, I don't want to sound negative to it because I do like the game a lot. It's got a lot going for it that has me hooked, and I want to get back to it. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else?
No, yeah, I think we covered we covered a good chunk of it. So,
All right. So I usually hard close the podcast here, but since we're on YouTube now, I do want to say that if you liked what you saw and heard, please give us a follow. Go ahead and put a comment on there. Let us know how we did. If you liked what you heard, if you didn't for any reason, just let us know. Just put on a comment about anything. We'd like to know. And with that, then that's it for this week's episode, friends. Till next time, be good gamers.
peace.